up, everybody, and happy Thursday. It's been, I did exactly what I said I wasn't going to do. And half of it is really not my fault. I wasn't feeling well last week. I went out of town for one of my good friend's birthdays, and we went to Hocking Hill, which if you are familiar with that area at all, if you're in Ohio, it's the woods. So we went to the woods, we got a cabin, very good time. But because I did not bring my allergy medicine towards the end of the trip and really coming back and honestly still lingering now, my allergies kind of flared up. And for anyone with allergies, you would know that if you don't catch allergies at the right moment and don't treat them, it'll turn into a cold. And that's what mine started to do. So I was very dry, very congested, had a lot of phlegm that I'm still working on coughing up. But I know. I did exactly what I said I was going to do and took a break. But you know what? We are back. It's April 1st. You guys know how excited I get for the beginning of new, not just new months, but just new periods in general, whether it's a new week, a new month, a new year, a new season, a new series, and all of that. So speaking of new series, let's get right into today's video. As always, God's blessing us. He's always going to be blessing us. So we are at the tail end of our purpose series, and we've, even though there hasn't been a lot of videos for this series, the videos that have been released and the content that's been put out has been pretty impactful, and it's been a lot. Talking about what our purpose was, how do we even know what our purpose was, and then today we're going to end with living in our purpose and what that looks like. And then how do you know if you're not living in your purpose? So that is very key and very important. Again, when you're starting anything, you need to know the purpose, not only your purpose, but also the purpose of whatever you're in. Okay. For example, if you are starting a new job, you want to know what your role is or what your purpose is, or else it's going to be hard for you to really, number one, enjoy your job, but also be effective in how you're doing different role and how you're doing different tasks or just your day to day. You need to make sure that you understand what you're supposed to be doing so that you can be utilized best. So in saying that though, what does it look like when we are living in our purpose? I will give you a personal example. And I think I've shared this before last year when we went over purpose. But for example, myself. So I want to say it was like 2018 was a very interesting year for me. On the outside looking in, people would think that, I had the best year of my life, which was a pretty good year. I'm not going to lie. I had graduated from my master's program. I bought my house, my very first house. I was doing really well with my job. I had a great group of friends. Still have the same group of friends, but had a great group of friends. My life was just great. But internally, I was suffering through a lot. I was suffering. That was my first ever experience, major experience, I'll say, suffering with anxiety. Or just having random anxiety attacks. I was, dealing with, I won't say it was depression, but I just wasn't very happy to do a lot of different things. It took a lot of energy out of me to do those things. And sometimes I would literally just have to take a hiatus. Okay. Thank you for inviting me out. I'll see you in 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So, and that honestly was all because I was not living in the purpose that God has set apart for me. And so once I had figured out what exactly my purpose was, and I started to live and not just live, but be active in my purpose too, it was very easy for me to experience peace and to experience joy and just be able to radiate love. And not saying that my life looked 100% differently. Granted, I did get a new job, but I'm still in the same house. I still am hanging around the same people. I still was going through the same situations. But internally, I had direction in my life. And I feel like that is a lot of times what people are missing is direction. And so, if you are just wandering and you're hopping into this, it's exciting for a second, and then all of a sudden it loses its luster. You're bopping around to different jobs, with different group of friends, even in different environments. You're kind of like a nomad, if you will. It's because you need to center yourself and understand what your purpose is, and then head in that direction. head in that direction. Like if you don't do anything else, once you find out what your purpose is, live in it. So by living in it, you got to get there first. Okay. So that is really, and I'm only speaking this because I've experienced it, but that is really the best way to be able to experience peace all the time, regardless of the things that are going on around you. Peace, joy, be able to radiate love, and just be overall happy with yourself and the things that are going on. Again, this does not mean that, your whole situation has changed, because one of the things that I would love to have is an abundance of money right now. I feel like if I had a lot of money, that would take care of a lot of different problems that I had, but I don't. But I'm still experiencing peace. I'm still experiencing joy. It's my mindset that has changed and my outlook on certain things. And also I'm able to make wiser choices and decisions. So am I able to do a lot of the things that I would like to do? No. But as far as my purpose is concerned, if I know where I'm headed and I know what exactly it takes to get there and the things that I should and shouldn't be doing, then I really don't need to be worrying about, X, Y, and Z, because it's not falling in line with my purpose. So yeah, making sure you're living in your purpose is really going to be the catalyst for a lot of the different series that we're talking about later this year, which, speaking of, our next series we're going to kick off next week, and it is our Worth series. And I'm very excited to kick this off because when I talked about worthiness last year, it really hit home for me because I was having actually a lot of conversations with a lot of different people centered around worth. And I don't know if I necessarily, I know for a fact that there was more content that could have been shared because I only did it for a week last year. But I don't know if I necessarily handled even some of those conversations the best. I also, not necessarily have I been going through worth issues with myself, but I have had situations in the past that have led themselves to me thinking that I am not worthy of X, Y, and Z because of certain things. So we're going to go into all of that in our Worth series, but thank you for hanging along in this Purpose series. I know it's kind of been intermittent. We've had highs and lows, but overall, I really hope that the main things that you got out of this was what your purpose was, who you are, who you were created to be, and then just living in that. Okay. And constantly being creative every day. Once you are living your purpose, it's going to fuel so much creative passion and desire that you're just going to be thinking of things that you're like, I don't even know where that came from. But it came from your creator, it came from your purpose, and it came from you choosing to head in the direction of your purpose. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Happy April 1st. Happy Thursday. I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.